Nobody can see us yet, though.
Okay. School literally seems like
They
bullshit.
can hear us. It is. It's like, well, oh yeah, he could have came. Thank you for telling me.
You mean to tell me that he could have gone today?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
So why did they tell you different?
I have no idea.
Oh, what the freak is wrong with these people? You did your part. You called. You did your part.
There we go.
So I don't know.
5 minutes until showtime.
Okay.
We'll see where this leads us. I'm gonna stop the
I'm
watch
on?
party. Yeah, you're already on.
That's weird. And you're on mine.
I'm gonna start a watch party.
Oh. Oh.
Come on.
Move you this way. Move you up somehow. I can actually get my feet on the floor. Awesome. Okay.
Watch party.
Oh.
4 minutes until showtime.
Four minutes till showtime. And that walk knocked me out, man. I was like, like, what did I do?
Where did you go?
I walked up Brock Avenue. I went down Davis Street, all the way down to the opposite side of the beach where the rocks are, where the harbor walk is.
Yeah.
I went down there. Then I walked all the way up to the end of the harbor walk and then walked back up the hill on Mott Street, up to Brock Avenue, and then walked down from Brock Avenue down here. I stopped at the store to
I
get
walked all the way that way. And then all the way back.
You're in better shape than me. I'm telling you.
That's all I do is walk.
Oh my God.
Everywhere.
I was like, oh my God, how long has this been since I've done this? Like, I was like, I can't believe this crap. I was like feeling dead. Feeling dead.
3
Like, I can't believe like, how the heck, how long has it been since
Oh.
I've done this?
Long time.
Gosh.
It really has been. Oh, all right.
Today, the doctor did tell my dad that he can start walking though, but he has to go through cardiac rehab before he tries to really like exert himself. You know.
Wow, that was an earlier one.
Oh yeah, it was one of the beginning ones you did. And the doctor stated how much he didn't like my mother. And I was like, that's okay, because, you know, she doesn't like you either. Which she told my father that.
Oh, really?
She told my father she don't like him. And I says, Dad, you know the reason why she doesn't like him is because he told her, like, what was what, and set her straight.
Oh, Allie.
You know, and that's what it was. Pete. Hey, Pete.
He's not over here.
But that's what it was. It's because, you know.
2
And then he remembered my mother
until
from the
showtime.
day of the procedure. He remembered her clear as day. Clear as day.
Wow.
So I know he was glad to see me there today, not versus seeing her there today, because it was not going to be pretty if it was there.
Hair.
She tried to convince my father to change doctors.
Are you serious?
Yes. She was trying to get him to literally convince him to change doctors.
Wow.
And I'm like, Dad, you're not doing that. This doctor's seen you from the beginning, from when you were in the hospital, like proper cared you up, made sure you didn't get stuck at St. Luke's because they were screwed up, brought you to the hospital to help you. Not only did he do your cardiac catheter, but he freaking did an emergency stent on you as you needed.
Oh, wow.
Like, but she wants you to change to another doctor. What? Another doctor that's going to think she's the Holy Jesus Christ? Like, come on. It's not happening.
Oh, my God.
But this is because anybody who contradicts her, anything that.
1 minute until showtime.
Not happening.
All right.
I was like, nope.
Yeah. Oh, tickle on the back of my head there.
And I know my dad likes Dr. Bear. You know what I mean? He feels comfortable talking to Dr. Bear. I know that. But because she didn't like it,
Yeah, I still can't believe these things. They're
those things are
amazing.
amazing.
I know. Literally.
Try to open another
Wow.
one that you haven't opened. See what it is.
I know. I can't wait to wrap these guys. Check these out.
They're druzy cabochons. Druzy cabochons.
Just came in.
Hello, Angel.
Love them, love them, love them.
Oh, and then we're waiting in the
Your
waiting
show
room.
will be
Oh,
and-
live
here we
in
go.
Oh, here we
5
go.
seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
This is Susan Swanbeck, CEO of the ACU Network, for protected by
Hot.
on
I need a window open here. I'm gonna die of the heat.
You want me to open it?
Could you? I'm
For
dying.
the next 2 fun-filled hours, get ready to learn something new, be inspired, enlightened, spooked, helped, laugh, cry, and be awakened. And now, your hosts of Awakening the Unknown. You never know what these two will be up to next. So
That's
please
an
welcome
understatement.
Susan Swanbeck.
Hey, everybody.
Michelle Sullivan.
Hi, guys. It's Monday. And we are up in the house today. Going to be doing some really, really interesting teachings and learnings. And we're
Oh
gonna do-
yeah, just this. We do have something new going on for everybody listening on Blog Talk and everybody watching us now. From now on, when I do answer a call, you will not be able to hear us on video. If you're listening on Blog Talk, you'll hear music. That means I'm going over to make sure that it's an okay call to actually pull forward.
Because
Okay.
people think it's funny to call in and say really gross and disgusting,
Every Sunday.
demeaning, disrespectful things.
During
Yes.
Healing Sundays, I don't know, it's open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So someone is not happy with the fact
Yeah.
that we're healing people and helping people.
yeah.
But
It's
that's
it's
their problem because
really weird.
it is weird. Only on
I
Sundays.
know, it's so weird.
So whoever's our stalker out there, guy, you're slacking. Because we got other days of the week.
Oh my God, the whole thing is so funny. I'm sorry, it really is. Oh my God. So, with everything that has been going on and Mercury in retrograde and everybody
Oh.
feeling the downsides of everything, we thought that it would be a really good idea to give you guys maybe some helpful information
Yes.
about, what you could do as far as like oils and herbs and maybe even do some meditation if we have a chance today.
Which is
Somebody,
very healthy
please
for you.
stick a fan in front. Hold on a minute, guys. I swear to God.
Hot flash. Hot flash.
No, I'm done with those. I'm just dying of the heat here. God, must have been that long walk I took today.
Yeah. You came back and survived. I came back and I just collapsed. I'm like,
No, I even made Jacob's cookies already. Jacob, I made your
Wow.
cookies.
Cookies are made. So
you'll
boo,
notice my
fire,
son
we got the
won't
ram.
say boo buy ram anymore because I bought the ram.
boo. We
Now
got the
he's
ram
gonna
and she's got the
say-
cookies.
Now he's gonna say boo buy capture card because I actually have a really nice camcorder that I use for ghost hunting. It's a very, very nice one. It's a Canon. It's 1020p, and it would really do a much better job than what I have. So rather than investing in webcam after webcam after webcam,
which we
it
kind of
just-
burn out, guys.
yeah, it
we
just
burn
makes
them
more
out.
sense. Makes
Sorry,
sense that way.
webcam companies, but you guys just can't hang. You guys can't handle us.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
literally,
not
with the amount
happening.
of money, for that, it's just,
Mhm.
just use it.
Yeah, it's an excellent
Yeah.
camera. We're gonna be
It really
rocking
is.
it that way.
So it's hunting. So, I wanted to show those that are actually in our watch parties here, and I'm gonna open one I haven't opened yet, just so you guys we can both look at it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little
together.
surprise and see what's it
Yeah.
gonna be. What's it gonna be?
All right, so I got 15 Druzy teardrop cabochons, and they're all, oh my God, this thing is gorgeous.
Look at this, guys.
So I will be wrapping these next, and they're beautiful.
Mother
Look at
Nature's
those
bling bling.
Druzies.
Wait, I like your poopless.
Oh my God, look at that.
I like your poopless.
Look at that. Isn't that nice?
Beautiful.
God.
So, guys, talismans, ambulance, necklaces, pendants, all kind of goodies are gonna be coming up with some druzies.
Yep.
Bling blingy droozies. Thank you, Mother Nature, for giving us
And
the
I will
bling
be
bling.
getting some copper because I really want to do
Mhm.
some of the antique stuff. So
That's
I'll
right.
be getting some copper.
And guys, you're running out of time for this wand, aka vampire steak. Okay. The pre-orders are being taken right now. It's a $15 pre-order money amount down.
Yeah, it's a
Yep.
$15 non-refundable because once I order this, I can't return it.
Yeah, it's
These
being
are
made.
hand carved.
Yep, handmade, guys. Handmade. All of the chakra stone, the wand, the amethyst sphere. Each one is
Yeah.
handmade specifically for you guys. And
He's my bead dude.
yeah. guaranteed, this is something
Yeah.
that'll be unique for you only through ATU Network.
So we are going to have different styles of rep bracelets available. I can't find my beading needle. So we'll have different styles like this macrame that will be available soon too. So,
That's right.
But without further ado.
Wait, Alicapoopolis.
Alacapoopolis.
I love this thing. It's just so beautiful.
I know.
So this will become a family heirloom for you guys. This is literally going to be a one of a kind thing.
I just think it's really nice. I saw it and he did have a couple of different kinds and I was like, there's something about that one.
Yep.
There really is just something about this. I said, okay, that's the one.
You know,
So
it could be a ritual
pretty
wand. It has
Literally.
the point, the sphere, all the crystals are all inlaid.
the direct
all made
energy
by
that way.
hand.
So.
It's
Hey,
a beautiful
Daisy.
piece.
How you doing, honey?
Beautiful piece. Beautiful piece.
Yep. So I do have, like I said, I've got those cabochons that just came in, the droozies, and there will be some other ones I'll be looking for. So you guys got to let me know which one cabochons.
That's right, guys.
What kind of stone you're actually looking for, because I've got all these people asking me if I need something, but nobody's telling me what type of cabochon you guys want.
Right. And guys, crystals are where it's at.
Yeah.
The portal is opening. I can't stretch
Portal,
this
portal,
enough. Even NASA uses crystals. Your cell phones are crystals. Your computers are crystals. Medications are crystallized crystals in crystallized form.
Literally, guys.
Okay,
Everything
can't
is
live without
crystals.
crystals.
Yep.
You can't live without crystals.
Yep.
You know, nowadays we're spoiled.
So what we have for you today is I have out my big book of, when I say big book, I mean big aromatherapy book. I have out my feng shui book, my spirit animal helpers, and animal speak is what I have out for you today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Michelle is dealing with the herby stuff.
That's
dude.
right, guys.
Dude, she does like the herbs.
I
you
do
know?
herbage,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Herb.
Like this,
Yes.
you know?
And hot off the press, straight from a doctor today. Is some new up to date like dietary tips and things like that.
Hey,
that are
Kaden,
really
how you
important.
doing, honey?
Hey guys.
So don't forget, pre-orders available, I think, next week.
Yeah. Running
Next
out of
week.
time, guys. Gotta be
I
done
will
by the
be,
3rd.
Yeah, literally.
By
He's
the
also
3rd.
my bead dude.
Dude.
He's my bead dude. No, he's got beautiful. You should see some of the ones we got. Oh my
He's
god,
got
I
gorgeous
can't
stuff.
wait to make them into the bracelets. So
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes.
But the section that I chose for you guys tonight is called it's the self-defense kit is what it talks about. And the reason I chose self-defense, we're not talking about
We're not, oh man, I don't got the right books there. I thought we were doing kung fu today, Sue. I thought this was gonna be kung fu.
Nope, not
Taekwondo, yeah, none of that.
Taekwondo is a balance of body, mind, spirit.
All right, so we lose a
There's
little bit of
difference.
Taekwondo.
It's not about self-defense. The slowment of movements actually help connect you. Not only connecting and killing vampires with the shiny steak.
Damn it. I'm just disappointed now.
So if anybody has any questions as we're talking about this now, I will be reading directly from the book because, like I said, I don't think I can memorize all this.
Yeah.
Not kidding. When I have reference books, I've got reference.
We want to make sure we give you guys the accurate.
This is not a reference book to me.
No.
This is a reference book.
Reference books are like these
reference books.
Okay, these are the herbage and the healing remedies. It's got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it really does. So we're gonna give you a little bit more information. Now remember, I tell you all the time, when you are purchasing your oils, you want to make sure that you buy therapeutic grade or medical grade oils. Okay, unless you're 100% sure that they're therapeutic or
Mhm.
medical grade oils. Do not ingest them.
Don't go thinking that the ones you're
Okay.
buying at the dollar store
Oh,
or
no,
Walmart or anything like that
no.
are the right therapeutic
Yeah, you don't
grades.
want 100. What is the other one? 100%.
Oh, God.
No, 100%. What is it? It's 100%. 100%
fragrance oil or
a
something.
100. I think it's. I keep spitting. Get it out. All right. So it's like 100%. It's not therapeutic or medical. It's aromatherapy oil.
Yeah, which is a difference.
Okay, there's a difference between
Huge
an aroma therapy oil and a therapeutic and a medical grade oil.
Mhm.
So you need to be really careful of that. And also, guys, if you do know an aromatherapist, please double check all your medical conditions as well.
Make sure you're honest.
Okay.
It's like doing a sit down interview with an MD,
Yep.
a physician. You want to know, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that. I
Right.
take such and such medications
Right.
because you don't want to have things interacting because this is medicine. It's medicine.
Right. And this came up because see, we do have and we do business with people from all over the world.
Mhm.
And they're very sweet. And I don't want to see anything bad happen to somebody that
Yeah, we
that
know
I
quite
know,
a few people in the
literally
coronavirus
from
areas.
all over the place.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see anything happen. So I says, you know what? Let's see what we can come up with and combine our heads in order to help.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, some of my people
And ease your minds. Like if you guys have questions, because a lot of people now get the flu and they panic
Yes.
and they think it's the coronavirus.
No.
The symptoms are different, guys.
Yep.
Okay. And granted, there's a lot of chaos going on with that whole coronavirus serious thing, but
yeah.
realize that the flu is just as deadly. So we have to make sure that we are careful how you
Actually,
handle
over
the flu.
here,
Yeah.
we're having more issues with the flu.
Yes, and that's
But
through the
see,
RNs.
Because I have grandchildren, twins, I've had so many shots. I swear to God, I'm all set for
She's
a
been
while.
spayed, neutered.
Yeah,
she's
I'm
got
all
all
set.
that.
I'm all set. So
She's got a rabies shot.
I swear to God, I had like whooping cough. I had flu
smallpox,
shot.
mumps, measles.
No, I've had something else I had to get. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there was another one
3
too.
shots I needed for her.
You
so
know.
and I
Flu
already
shot.
Yeah, the flu I did
Yeah,
get. There
yeah.
was whooping cough. There was one more. I've already had the ammonia virus shot. So that's not even due
Yep,
for another
yep,
2
yep.
years. So.
But I mean, so this
I'm all
ask
set.
questions, guys. Ask us questions. Feel free to ask us questions
Right.
about things.
Because
you know.
there's a lot of flu, there's a lot of cold, there's a lot of germs. Okay.
Mhm,
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work through some of, and again, the self-defense kit, what we're talking about is bacteria and viruses. And you have to remember one thing about them. Bacteria and viruses are smart.
Very smart.
Okay. They are highly intelligent and adaptable.
Mhm.
That's the biggest problem.
Yes.
Now, when they actually realize that an antibiotic or an antiviral is actually being used to wipe them out, they mutate.
Which is why they talk about flu A for the injection, and now there's flu B because flu A already outsmarted everybody.
Yes, so
now it's flu B.
Now it's flu B that's killing everybody around in this particular area.
Yes, especially elderly and infant children,
right?
Little babies. It's mutatable. Every one of these is mutatable. So that's something you guys got to keep in mind. So even if you do get your flu shot, you can still get the flu. That is 100% positive that yes, you can get the flu because the strains have mutated. And that's a normal occurrence with these types of things. It's not abnormal for it to happen. The medical society already expects it to be. That's why there's another range of flu shots later on in the season, because it does cover then the mutated flu A that's now flu B.
Yeah, it does sometimes. But see, it's actually evolution at work. It's super quick time. But through the process known as bacterial conjunction is what it's called. Bacteria under a treat, can actually sweep your DNA with another nearby bacteria. And then you get a subspecies of what's happening.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things are actually happening. You're getting a species and a subspecies, like a form of flu that has symptom to it that normal flu symptoms wouldn't have.
Right.
Or feels like a sinus infection and with a slight fever, so you think that's what it is, and you don't understand why you're having stomach issues. It could be a mutated form of the flu. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about bacteria is actually crossing. Now, once very few actually bacteria actually come into contact with an antibacterial drug because they're not widespread. And this is the issue. Too many people go right away to an like going, okay, I need an antibiotic in order to get rid of this. I need it. And literally, I just had a sinus issue.
Not a good idea to get an antibiotic for that.
No,
okay,
because and this is what happens. Back when I was a kid, it was nonstop antibiotic. And then I had a son who couldn't take it because he was borderline. I hate that word. But anyways, he had issues. So because he had issues, he couldn't take the pain. So they kept doing one antibiotic after another, and it got to the point where nothing would work, and he actually lost part of his hearing.
Right. Because now the antibiotics have lost their oomph, and then the body's already used to it.
It's the more you do the antibiotic and not really try to do something else, the more it's going to affect you. Is what happens.
That's right.
So, all right, what we're dealing with nowadays at antimicrobes are actually routinely given to animals too, not only when they are ill, but as preventatives or as growth. So that's what we're dealing with as well. We're also dealing with the fact that the meats that we're eating, or the milk that you're drinking, or the goat's milk, or the cheese, also has a form of
antimicrobes.
Yeah, what she said.
In Portuguese, we call them microbes.
Microbes. So, and you're dealing with that. So if you're doing all that and you're adding something else to it, yes, chickens, beef, hamburger, all these things are actually going to cause an issue. So it's going to, your body isn't going to be as susceptible to the antibiotics as they used to be. Okay, so that's what we're talking about.
So it's like kind of like when you really do need the antibiotic, it's not going to work properly for you because your body's already kind of gotten used to it and mutated it, and now no antibiotics are going to be great for anything. And that's why it's important to get a proper diagnosis, because a respiratory infection and a sinus infection and a flu and all that can exhibit some of the same symptoms, and you don't realize that.
And do you notice I didn't get an antibiotic?
Which was good. Which was really good.
Yeah, because it's a thing. So, and here is a bit of a tidbit for everybody out there, by the way. Here's a bit of information. Now, there's actually more antimicrobes actually in where are we? It's actually, there are more used in fish farming, plants, agriculture, industrial plants, even for maintenance of oil pipes too. So they use more in fish, like the fish farms.
Yeah, of course.
But see, around here, we're lucky because we can actually go to the boat when they unload, and
we have fresh seafood at our disposal.
So that's
here.
the difference.
I mean, we can literally order like an entire codfish to show up tomorrow if we wanted to.
Yeah,
because we're at the #1 sailing, whaling.
Yeah, with
seaport
the fishing
everywhere in the United States. We're in New Bedford.
We are lucky like that. So we get them fresh off the boat versus everything that's been processed through the chemicals.
People inside the middle, like the country, get things that have already been processed, already been tried to, prolong its life. It's not fresh fish. It's not natural microbes.
Right. So just to remind everybody, if we do get a call, those on Blog Talk will hear music. I will be screening all calls from now on. On Facebook, I don't know how this is going to affect you.
Yeah. So Merv the Perv, you're not going to have an opportunity anymore.
I will no longer have you guys listen to
Hey, Robert. Hey, Brenda.
I will be screening all calls from now on that do come on the network.
So Brenda said she had a sinus infection last month.
Right.
And they gave her a steroid, not an antibiotic.
Right.
It worked. And that's what you want.
Right.
Exactly what you want. You want it to be treated that way. You want your body to give itself an opportunity to build up its immunity.
Because when you really, really need the antibiotic, because it's a serious condition. You want to not have your body so immune to it that it doesn't actually work.
Yes.
And that's why we're doing what we're doing right now. Okay. International Crisis of Antibacterial Resistance. It's actually known as AMR. And that's what happens. A lot of individuals right now are resistant to antibiotics. Now, because of the way I was when I was a kid, I'm allergic to penicillin.
We get brought up because of the overdoing it of
literally, I
antibiotics. at the time.
developed an allergy to penicillin.
Mm,
So
mm.
I have to be really careful.
Well,
I
then,
also
yeah.
can't take painkillers.
And then it makes you more allergic. Like you can't have sulfur and you can't have
Nope,
other
can't
things
have
because
sulfur either.
that's what is involved
Right.
in making the actual penicillin.
Also can't have
antibiotics.
pseudometaphine.
No.
So, which is why one of the reasons I got into some of the other things. For everybody out there that is having an issues with colds, okay, you want to do the 10-7-3 drip, and what we're talking about is eucalyptus 10 drops. Okay, you can do this right in a breathe it in. You want to breathe it in with
Steam,
heat,
like even
okay?
a steam.
Literally steam. So you want 10 drops of the eucalyptus oil. Make sure, like I said, it's therapeutic or medical. And then you want tea tree oil, which is actually a breathable form of an antibiotic that does help your immune system. It builds your immune system and helps you fight.
Back in
You
the
want
day,
7
that's what
drops
was
of those,
used.
and then you want 3 drops of lemon. That's really, really good when you're sick. We unfortunately have this really dusty space here, and I have allergies, so I'm usually throwing some aromatherapy in there.
And
Okay.
of course, the water to steam and moisturize the air and our natural things that we're doing with that.
Right.
Natural.
Right.
No chemicals. Natural, guys.
No, it's all therapeutic and medical grade. So, hey, Robert, I don't see everybody that's on right now. Michelle's running the restream. I am managing the board because I've got to really keep a close eye on that.
Yeah.
So if we are silent, Michelle can get a pen and a paper and draw funny pictures while I deal with this.
So, I'm ready. We're playing tic-tac-toe or hangman or something. We're doing something.
So, and this is unfortunately what's going to happen. You guys watching the live video, I need to be able to screen the calls, and there's 2 of us. So.
We've been having some really disgusting, crazy calls and from weird stalkers.
Now, here is the other thing. Now, I take a bus.
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually have an antibacterial ointment that I keep on the outside. So that is something I have with me at all the time because I take a bus and I have to help my mother.
Lots of germs.
Who is, lives in an elderly complex. So yes, there's a lot of germs. Not everybody is constantly washing hands. So these are things I have to do. But here's a little bit more information. In actually 2013, the National Institute of Health actually reported that each year 1.7 million Americans get infections in the hospital, to whom about 99,000 will actually die from the result. Die from the result of the bugs responsible for the hospital infections in the United States. Around 70% are resistant to one or more drugs that would have dispatched it a few years ago.
Yes.
That is the issue we're having.
Yes.
So when we talked about the portal opening, about the fact that actually Michelle brought that up. I give credit where credit's due. Michelle is the stalker of the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's her. She's a stalker of guests and internet. She takes care of that stuff. I do all the techie stuff. So to me, it's perfect. So but she's the one that found out about the portal, and then literally it was scientific evidence saying that we really need to be more open to the holistic ways. And
that's what we need.
Reading the information I just read you, pretty sooner or later, look what's happening to the coronavirus. I know everybody has all of these antibiotics, but it's antibiotic resistant.
It is.
You need to really be prepared. So I'm going to definitely read you some more information, and then I want to be able to give you what's known as an emergency care voice.
Yeah. And so you guys know too, when we're talking about the resistance, now the coronavirus, what it's doing is people that have been infected, okay, if they do manage to survive the first infected episode, they are guaranteed to get it a second time. And the second time is immediate death. It shuts down your cardiac system, your pulmonary system. It becomes full-blown respiratory infections, everything. So it's already mutated now to where if it doesn't kill you the first time, it's guaranteed to kill you the second time.
Yeah, but there are some individuals that had a milder case of it that don't. And this is the thing. What are they looking at is, and again, we're not doctors or physicians. I'm
No.
only, just do certain things. But if I can arm you guys in a different way to prepare you and keep you safe, then I'm happier.
Yeah, and so you all know too, the 2-week quarantine the normal quarantine system is 2 weeks. That's already not flying for the coronavirus anymore either. They're actually talking about extending it to 30 days of a quarantine because of the infection and the reinfection of the coronavirus.
Here's some more fascinating information in my reference. When I do reference, I do reference. I do not just, okay, this oil works for that. No, I do reference. So here's some more information for you. In actually 2013, the chief medical officer of UK professional Dame Sally Davis actually asked the British government to recognize antibiotic resistant drugs as a national catastrophe. Now, this was back in 2013. It's now 2020. Has anybody heard of that before?
You guys probably not. Probably you guys have probably not. You probably not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on top of the coronavirus, Brenda. Trust me.
Oh no, trust me. We're very careful where we get anything coming in from.
Yep.
We're working literally.
We're very aware.
We've met so many new people, but that doesn't mean I don't care about those that are there. No,
because we do, and we do worry about them. And we
I
know
literally
that
check on everybody, whether I'm purchasing a crystal or not. I can't help it. I check on everybody, and that's why I've been so busy lately.
Now, Brenda asks, has anybody survived it yet? Yes. Yes. People have survived the coronavirus. Yes. Okay. Then they're supposed to be put in immediate quarantine so they do not get reinfected. So this is what they're actually trying to figure out right now.
So there have been individuals that have survived. Yes. They don't know why. So that's the issue. So they call it a re-quarantine. It's not. What they're trying to do is figure out, how did they survive? What is the difference between this individual and that?
Yes.
You have to
remember,
to come up
even with
some very, very, very healthy individuals.
Yeah.
Literally have just not survived the coronavirus, and others that are more susceptible have survived it.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
That's why they're trying to. That's why all the labs, if you notice, labs all over the world are working on trying to come up with a way to get this coronavirus under control and handled. Okay.
Now we're talking, and again, we're still talking about.
It's man-made, Brenda. It was made in a biochemical lab under the city of Wuhan.
Yeah.
It was not in a fish market. It didn't come from a bat.
Nope.
They literally biochemically engineered it.
And it came out.
It got under control.
Right.
Another thing, too, is now to get rid of the prison population, there are 2 prisons in Wuhan that have been literally infiltrated with the coronavirus, and all of their inmates are dying. Okay. Well, because it's population
this
control.
Is what we have read. We have to say that because we can't be sued.
Well,
yeah. So now the World Health Organization, made up of AMR, are actually, it's a theme for the World Health Day in 2011 is what we're talking about, actually recognized a huge potential for death on worldwide scale. Globally, each year, about 440,000 people are actually struck down with multigade resistant tuberculosis, whom approximately 150,000 people actually died. Now there's a lot of information, and this is what it is. Our bodies and what we're ingesting with our food is some of that has to do with antibiotics, antimicrobes, and all these things that they're actually giving to keep the animals healthy. And then we get an infection on top of that. So we're like ODing.
Yeah. It's true. It's what you are doing.
Right.
Now, Brenda says she's asking because 4 towns over from her, there are 240 people quarantined in Michigan. Okay. In Michigan.
Right.
So the best thing to do, Brenda, honestly, is use all of these the normal things you would do for flus. Wash your hands, use the antibacterial washes.
Yep.
Make sure that if you're ill, you wear a mask, you stay away from young and old and other people that are sick. And if you have to quarantine yourself, then your best bet is literally to quarantine yourself.
Right.
Even if it's a flu. And if it makes you feel comfortable to do that while you have a flu, then do that.
I can tell you that there was a child who does live in Dartmouth who was going back and forth to Boston, and he actually is showed he has no more traces of the coronavirus.
Mhm.
So that's
But this was
another
a
one.
healthy
Why?
20-something-year-old man. Young.
No, we're talking young child.
No, it was Destiny's age.
Oh,
Friend.
Destiny's age. Yeah, we don't
Yes.
know why.
Yes. No,
So
it was
yes,
Destiny's
it's all
age.
clear.
Yeah.
So he had the flu and the virus, and he's done.
And and that's the thing. But
Right.
you got to think too. Where we are in Boston, we have like the best hospitals in the world.
Yeah.
They are working on this. We had one patient originally that started in Boston with the coronavirus, was quarantined and handled, and you don't hear
Yeah.
anything bad anymore
Nope.
about it. Not in our area. So the thing is, just be very, very cautious about what you do, where you're at, what kind of environment you put yourself in. Use all of the bacterial type of things that you do. I bleach and bleach and bleach, and I love bleach.
Yeah.
I'd
she
bleach
really
myself if I could.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
do clean with a lot of bleach.
Yeah, because
we
bleach
always
does.
have.
I believe
It kills 99.9%.
yes.
Of all
Even
bacteria.
though we don't know exactly yet how
Right.
if it does or if it does affect the coronavirus's bacteria in that way, eventually we're going to find out.
Right.
It's only a matter of time that before we find out
And
exactly
the
what
spray
it is.
that I actually use in the house does have 100 proof alcohol in
Mhm.
it too, by the way.
Mhm. So believe it or
I
not.
want to say something survive with 100 proof alcohol.
So but the best thing too
Right.
is if you're feeling ill, just
Right.
kind of make your own little quarantine. Have your own little pajama party. Put yourself to bed and watch movies and do fun things and just kind of like just do you. And then you don't really even have that on the back of your mind and worried about it. And
Right.
obviously don't go into infected areas.
Yes.
Don't go into infected areas.
Right.
Don't touch
Now,
anything.
another thing you can actually do with your aromatherapy oils, if you do carry them with them, you can actually dab on your wrist. You could dab on your nose. It might burn a little bit,
Mhm.
but it'll help. Or you can put it in a tissue.
Mhm.
Literally, just drop a few drops in a tissue or a handkerchief and smell them.
Mhm.
And that's going to help. Like I keep one on my desk. One.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I'm almost out. So one on my desk at all times.
Mhm.
And then I just literally rinse it and reuse and everything else.
Hi,
So
Elizabeth.
what we're actually talking about is a self-defense kit for aromatherapy. Michelle is going to get into a lot of the oils, but I want you guys to have as many options as possible.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's the thing. It's more is better than less. So if you combine oils and herbs and whatever other holistic methods that work,
Yep.
then do it. It's you can't do enough. You can't do enough.
No,
It doesn't
you
hurt.
can't.
It doesn't hurt. to do
Literally,
it.
I mean, I literally have an oil burner that I've had forever that's on the back of my bed and
Mhm.
little tea lights. Literally invest in tea lights and a
Mhm.
little oil burner because it really works, especially if you don't have a dusty ass old
Yes,
space heater
yeah.
like we do.
Oh,
Now,
and also another thing too, before we go any further, the hospital, I learned in the hospital when I was there a few weeks ago that even the hospitals now have the temperatures so cold in the actual emergency rooms and in the hospital rooms
Right.
themselves because of the controlling of the bacteria.
Yep.
So cold, fresh air, believe it or not,
Yep.
is actually really, really good for you. So if that's something else that you can
Love the
incorporate,
cold.
please do it. And these are hospitals that are doing this. Okay. Hospitals are doing this. So it's a valid thing. It's a valid thing. The nurses are walking around going, because they're in there 8 hours every
and
day.
I'd probably be in there in a tank top going, yes.
Yes. But it's because it helps control bacteria.
Yeah, it's like when I open all the windows in the house to literally, that's what I do. I want to kill the bacteria.
Mhm.
And it's usually on a bit of a chilly morning. So I'll open all the windows in the house,
Yes.
kill all the bacteria.
Get rid of all that
literally,
stale
and
bacterial
clean.
air.
And Michelle's sitting there with a bathrobe and a blanket. And she's like, yeah.
Sometimes I got a
this is
sweatshirt on
good.
even after that.
Yes, we need a coffee. It's like, okay.
But it's for our own good.
Yeah, it really is. And I do that all the time. I've always opened the windows up in order to, so to speak, change the air, kill it, but even in the middle of the winter.
Yes. Get all that stale out,
you
air
need
out.
to do it
Okay.
all the time. My
So
window
if
is
you're
open right
sick in
now.
a room, it's actually not a bad idea to have an open window.
Oh, yeah.
Truly
Definitely
is. I mean, bacteria is not gonna. This is not airborne viruses, so it's not going to like fly in your bedroom window. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
it's
It's
not.
not.
No,
But the
that's not what
cold,
we're
fresh
talking
air
about.
will help just keep general bacteria down.
Right.
It's a good thing.
So what we are talking about is all essential oils are actually to some degree antiseptics. Now we're talking about natural oils, not something that was chemically made.
Yes.
Okay, not like where it originated from, but not chemically made.
Mhm.
Now, the world of microbes, they're actually in groups. There's actually a germ positive type and a germ negative type. And
Mhm.
I know this makes no sense to you guys whatsoever. It's a very complex subject when you're talking about oils and aromatherapy.
Mhm.
All right, so there's actually trace elements are important in the human body too. And what we're talking about is the presence of essential oils that can actually analyze only to a certain extent. Although many chemical compounds can be accelerated by certain gassy type smells and things, but we're actually talking about the trace elements. So some of the, and according to, and again, this is my reference book. According to the reference book, the positive side effects of the aromatherapy do last with you for a long time.
Mhm.
And I can 100% tell you that it's true from my own personal experience.
It
My
is.
husband had liver cancer.
Mhm.
He tried everything and nothing worked. He actually went into remission. He was supposed to die 10 years before he did. He actually went into remission for the longest time using all of these methods.
That's right.
He went into remission.
And she, I mean, this was the,
Yeah.
you know, and she used
This-
all holistic methods,
All
and
holistic.
it literally gave him
Right.
an extra 10 years to his life. That's a fact.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk now on this hour. We're going to do more talking about oils. In the next hour, Michelle is going to fill you in a lot about herbs and
Yes.
type of herbs you can use. Teas, herbs, teas.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
So here we go. We're going to talk right now about 10 it's 10 oils that you want in your self-defense
So
kit.
this is like you gotta grab a pen and paper, guys,
Okay.
because this is the list of the oils that you need to have in your emergency
Now I
kit.
have a longer list than that, and then also I will let you know if it's antibacterial, antiviral, or an antifungal.
Which is different.
All right.
They're
so
all
this
different.
is information I normally don't share. But right now, with everything that's going on, it's not about anything else except keeping everybody that we do care about
Yes.
safe. That's what
Yeah.
it's about. Okay. So
Healthy, wealthy, and wise.
that's right.
All
All right. Now, these are the oils I'm actually suggesting. Okay. Try to remember, if you guys stay away from chamomile, if you guys have hay fever low. Okay. Now, they actually are readily available. There is a brand actually right on Amazon that is medical grade and not that expensive.
And it's again medical.
It's a medical grade.
That's
Right.
what you need to help treat these things.
And it's really not that expensive. I have researched everything you could find of, and I went to some of the unusual brands and found ones that were really good. Now, the first oil you want to get is eucalyptus.
Very good.
Okay, eucalyptus.
Really, really good.
Sinus infections, having trouble breathing with coughs, and literally eucalyptus is the world's greatest thing you want to have. Okay.
Buy some eucalyptus literally in actual its form.
Yep.
And hang it in your shower. So when the hot water actually works and steams, you get the benefits of the eucalyptus. And this is something you guys can do on a regular basis.
Yep.
And eucalyptus is really not that expensive. So use that incorporated with the oil and keep yourself covered with eucalyptus.
Okay. Now, another one we're talking about is hoe wood. Hoe wood is a little bit more difficult to get. You can actually substitute I think cinnamon on this one, although the hoe wood would work a lot better. It's HO and then WOOD is the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
not saying that
wood.
the pieces what it oh my god, girl, you just never stop. It's not like that. Not at all. Okay, another one, very important, lavender. Now, lavender is a really good oil as well, but it's also going to help you with sleep. So if you're having trouble with nervous and lavender, really a couple spritz on the back side of your pillow so it doesn't get on your skin. You're still going to smell the lavender and it's going to help.
And nowadays we do lavender baths for babies and such. We can use lavender baths too, guys. Lavender baths are really good for you.
All my kids had lavender baths.
My kids would, it was like the best.
Then
But
when they
here's
knew
another
what
thing.
I was doing, they stopped letting me. Stop using it.
But now my daughter wants to start using them again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
know, it's weird.
But like even babies, if they have bad coughs and they're having really agitated colds and all that, the lavender oil literally helps relax them enough so they're not becoming so anxious about the cough.
Right, and it's really good for stress too.
Yes.
Now, some of these oils, you guys are not going to be even aware they exist.
What do you mean you don't see koalas with colds? How do you know? Are you out there with the koalas, Robert?
Well, he's out there with the birds.
It's true.
Okay, so after lavender, we're actually talking about Menkua. And Menkua is actually spelled Manuka. This particular oil is also very helpful. Another one is Mei Chang. So, like I said, you're really going to have to research a lot of therapeutic grade oils. Okay. We're also talking about Nioli, which is Niaouli oil. Also, oregano oil, believe it or not.
Yes.
I use a lot of oregano in my cooking.
Please, guys, do. Please use herbs. Don't use those packages of stuff that are seasoning. Use the actual oregano. Please.
Palomarose.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's another good one. Ravensara, which is Ravensara. And of course, thyme.
Yeah, time's a good one, guys. Again, time.
All right.
So I guess koalas eat eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah,
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense why koalas don't get colds then.
Well, you just wanted to know if you actually went up and asked the koala.
I would have asked the koala.
Yeah, she wants to know if you asked the koala.
Did you go to a koala? Hey, how do you keep yourself from getting a koala, dude? The koala go, hey, I do eucalyptus.
So
leaves,
now,
dude.
literally, guys, if you've got your pen and your papers, we're really going to go over a large list, okay? I actually have about 2.5 pages here. Okay, maybe 3 full pages.
It's a lot of information, guys. So it's something that you're going to want to like refer back. Please do.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please ask them. Ask them.
All
Very
right.
important.
Now, as far as essential oils, first one we're going to be talking about is bay laurel. Okay, I don't know if you guys can actually get a hold of bay laurel. Now, bay laurel is actually an antibacterial, an antiviral, and an antifungal.
When I was a child, my grandmother used to make soup with bay laurel.
Bay laurel works on all of those. Okay, so now, and again, you still have to look up your symptoms. Always refer to an aromatherapist, but this information I'm hoping can help you guys. Okay. Now, Bay West India is another one. That is actually an antibacterial and an antiviral. Okay, it is not an antifungal at all.
So that's the fungals are like the fungus among us kind of stuff, you know, like you think of like athlete's foot as a fungus type related illness.
Wow,
something
these
like
two
that.
oils I actually use in my blend. Well, sorry, I was reading ahead. All right. So now we're going to be talking about Benzon. And Benzon is actually an antibacterial. Really good in the spritz too, by the way. All right.
Very good.
Bergamot root, another good one.
That's one you use in your blends.
Yes, it is. It's another one I use in my blend. That is an antibacterial. Okay. Now, caraway seed, that one is an antibacterial and an antifungal.
And caraway seeds you can get in all those kind of natural holistic stores. Even Ocean State job lots, if you have them around,
Yeah,
they
believe
have
it or
caraway
not,
seeds.
They have a lot of old herbs in there that you don't find. And
yes.
thrillers.
So definitely check out your Ocean State job lots if you have any near you. Definitely really important.
Now, cardamom. Cardamom is also an antibacterial and an antifungal. Now, like I said, if anybody has ragweeds issues, don't use the next two.
Yep.
Chamomile, German chamomile is an antibacterial.
Do not use, if you are allergic to anything in the ragweed family, don't
use it.
touch chamomile.
No, you get puppy eyeballs.
Yeah, you will make
also
yourself
Roman
sick.
chamomile is also an antibacterial. Now, cinnamon leaf.
Not the cinnamon, but the leaf of the cinnamon plant.
There's actually a different. Cinnamon leaf is another good one. It's antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal.
Which cinnamon in general is good to put, guys, on anything and everything you actually can. Cinnamon is really good for you.
Cinnamon is good. All right, now we're going to deal with citronella. Here's another one. Citronella, antibacterial, antiviral, and an antifungal.
Okay, so don't go start sniffing citronella candles, guys, for bug sprays or anything like that, though. We're talking about the actual citronella.
Here's one, clove bud. I actually use this when I make mullein. My kids love my mullein. I use a lot of
Ah.
whole herbs to boil the flavor in them.
That's the Viola thing, right? Mullein?
It's a Viola.
Viola.
Viola. Yes. Now clove bud actually is also an antibacterial, antiviral, and an antifungal.
Very important,
Okay.
guys.
Yes.
Very important.
Now let's see. We're also dealing with coriander seed. That one is antibacterial and antifungal.
Mhm.
Now we're dealing with elemi, which is ELEMI. That one is only antibacterial.
Mhm.
And again, eucalyptus. There's several different kinds of eucalyptus. This is Eucalyptus globulus. The Eucalyptus globulus is actually antibacterial and an antiviral.
Mhm.
Now, the Eucalyptus lemon is antibacterial, antifungal.
Mhm.
Now, here's the kicker.
Lemon's really great too to use for your skin, believe it or not.
Yeah,
if you
it
cut a
really
lemon
is.
in half and take the lemon and scrub
Actually,
your
it's
face.
egg whites, mayonnaise, and some drops of lemon. Really good for facial. Helps tighten your pores, by the way. Antibacterial radiant. That one is antibacterial and antiviral. Now we're going to deal with something that Michelle likes. Fennel.
Fennel. I love fennel. Fennel
is
soup.
antifungal.
Well, fennel soup is awesome. And again,
Antifungal.
another thing with like antifungal stuff, you can make a little like a wash even with it. But again, it's great to ingest it because fennel soup is awesome.
Oh,
Use
yeah.
fennel with fish, even if you've never tried fennel, guys, I recommend trying fennel. Fennel's really good. Really, really good.
Oh my God. Now this one I'm going to spell to you and we'll have Michelle pronounce it because I don't use it as you can't tell. We're talking about Fragonia.
Fragonica?
Yeah.
Fragonia.
What she said. That is
Fragonia, yeah.
antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal, all three. Frankincense is antibacterial. Geranium is actually antibacterial and antiviral. Ginger, which I love.
You can never have too much ginger, guys.
Oh, I love ginger.
Never.
So ginger is antibacterial. Now and again, Howood, we talked about that earlier.
Hello.
Now this is why it's in the list because it does take care of all three: antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. Okay. Now Hypus, we're talking again. It's antibacterial and antiviral.
Hypus.
Hypus.
I know, right?
I know. A boss. And
it's funny because a lot of them I know by Portuguese names, and so it's like in my mind I'm thinking, oh, it's subterfuge, or something Portuguese. Canuka. That's Canadian, isn't it?
Is all three as well: antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. Lavender is antibacterial. Lavender spike is actually antibacterial and antifungal. A lemon, which is of course a citrus, is antibacterial. Lemongrass, do not use lemongrass if you are prone to migraines. You're going to continue to get migraines.
But at the same
it's actually going to make it worse.
Right. But also lemongrass, if you don't happen to have that, lemongrass is actually good for dizzy spells and good for the vertigo. Actually, lemongrass.
Yes, but
not good for migraines.
Suffer from migraines. Don't
not good. Yeah.
So that is antibacterial, antifungal. Now lemon tea tree, that is antibacterial. Manuka is actually antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. Marjoram sweet, that one is antibacterial and antifungal. Mei Chang, of course, is all three, which is antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. Now you're going to deal with Melissa, and that is, we're not talking about a person.
That's an actual or
yes,
oil, guys.
It's antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. Now we're talking about neuro oil. We talk about that all the time when we're doing Healing Sundays. That is actually antibacterial as well. All right. Now we also have, there's a neurocitrus and there's a nioli. Now the nioli is actually antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungus. Now sweet orange, there's a difference. Sweet orange is actually just antibacterial.
Yeah.
But if you and again, oregano, really good. Cook with it all the time.
As much as you guys
especially
can.
because you're heating it up.
Yes.
So not the oil, the herbs I cook with, just so you know. Antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal.
Mhm.
All right. Now we're dealing with
Oh.
primrose. What do we got
Yeah,
going
no
on?
lemongrass for migraines, but yes, lemongrass if you have Virgo and dizzy spells.
Yep.
But not if you're prone to migraines.
If you're prone to migraine, stay away from it.
Yeah.
But for the vertigo, yes.
Mhm.
So you just, and that's why sometimes you really need to seek help with a professional.
Exactly.
Somebody who deals with the herbology or the aromatherapy versus just buying something off. Can I use this because I have this condition?
Yes,
type
be
thing.
sure you're always honest about your health
Right.
conditions, guys. Always.
Another good one to have is palmarose. Now,
Mhm.
palmarose actually is also antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal.
Mhm.
Now, think of it this way: you guys are cooking, right? Why can't you just throw a little oregano on? You've got
Right.
your dose right there
Yes.
of antiviral, antifungal,
Mhm.
and antibacterial. You've got it all
Yes.
covered right there
Yes.
just by throwing a little oregano.
Parsley,
Easy.
even. I throw parsley on everything. Anything and everything you guys can put
Yep.
parsley on. And the more parsley you can ingest, the better, too.
Now, patchouli oil,
Mhm.
believe it or not, is antifungal.
Antifungus.
Now, peppermint.
Ooh.
Peppermint, antibacterial is antibacterial, antifungal. Now, as far as peppermint oil, do not use peppermint oil if you are on high blood pressure medication.
Not good.
It stops your high blood pressure meds from working. So literally, if you don't know what's going on and your high blood pressure medication isn't working, please take a look to see if you're eating anything with peppermint in it. Stop
Yes,
using it.
because
okay?
it will take away the strength of your actual blood pressure medications. And that's something most MDs don't know and don't inform you
Do you
of.
notice your blood pressure balanced off when I told you stop using peppermint?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
And when I mix anything in the house, I use spearmint now, not peppermint. You can't
Yes.
use spearmint.
Spearmint, yes.
Spearmint,
Peppermint,
okay. Peppermint, no.
no. No peppermint.
I can't even make peppermint cookies at Christmas.
I miss those two.
I know. All right. So now we're also going to be talking about petitgrain. Now, petitgrain is a antibacterial. Pine is also an antibacterial. Ravensara is an antibacterial, antiviral. Also, Raven, is that repeated? Yes, it is. Okay. It looks the same.
Ravensara.
Yeah.
Ravensara.
Yeah, that's antibacterial, antiviral as well. Now, rosemary, rosaline. It's rosalina, rosalina. That is antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. Now, rosemary is you're dealing with the antibacterial and the antifungal.
Mhm. Rosemary again,
Right.
another herb. You guys all know what rosemary is.
Now, rose
Use
oda.
as much as possible
That's
of rosemary.
Rose oda. Wait till we get to sage. I love this thing. Now, rose oda, what you're dealing with right now is an antibacterial. Now, rosewood smells a little better, not so rosy to me. I don't
You're
like
not
the
big
smell of
rosy
rose.
smells.
I don't like roses too
Yeah.
much.
Rosy
Now
smells.
we are dealing with an antibacterial and antifungal as well.
Mhm.
Now, sage, this is like debate. Sage is actually antibacterial,
I believe.
antiviral, and antifungal.
It's good.
It's
very
good for all
good for
three.
you.
I
Yes.
really love sage.
Yeah.
Now, sandalwood, which I like the smell of, but I use sage more.
Mhm.
Sandalwood is only an antibacterial.
Yeah. So
Now, if you're dealing with a savory winter, which is also another scent,
Mhm.
you're dealing with antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral as well. Also, thyme, also all three: antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. Also Ververta. We've talked about this before as well. Also for dealing with certain chakras.
Mhm.
That is an antibacterial and an antifungal.
yes.
Okay. So we've got about 8 minutes left to get into how to use them. Any questions so far, guys?
Any questions, guys? Anything you guys want to tell us?
We got one
Ask
person watching.
us.
It's probably you.
It's probably me.
Yeah. We're just
I don't know
gonna
if they
keep
got
going.
lost because we had Brendan here, we had
Yeah, I don't
Robin
know.
here, Elizabeth in here. I don't know if
Well,
they got
and then I think
poofed
Chris
out.
just came on, and somebody else just came on. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Chris did. All right. So now what we're gonna explain to you guys right now is how to use essential oils to help protect you against bacterial and inflation. There's several different ways. One is a diffuser, and that is literally, it's just a tea light, a little bit of water over the diffuser, and you put the oil drops in. It's what
Jake
you
is
do.
here.
Jake is here.
Boo, buy capture card and make all the cakes.
Oh, well, I made the cookies and they're hiding in the room. Another one to do it is sprays.
Where they hiding to? Where they hiding to?
There's some out there. Jake's
Okay, okay.
hiding in here.
Okay.
All right. So a spray is a good way. A simple anti-infectious room spray can easily be cleaned to you. And again, you could use it making water. Now I have a certain recipe that I do utilize. That is something that's going to help you as well. Body sprays. Another one is very good for that. I haven't built the body sprays for you guys yet.
Yeah.
Also baths is another good one, but be careful about what you're using for your aromatherapy with baths, because certain things actually can bother you. Bath oils also, you can buy like a regular bath oil, put a couple of drops of the essential oil in it that you need,
Yeah.
and use that for your bath
It's
oil as
really
well.
better for you. You won't
Right.
get UTIs or infections or
Right.
vaginitis or vaginismus or any of those kind of things, because it could irritate us. You do want to have it, like she's saying.
Yeah, you do. You
Okay.
want to be very careful. Another way, and again, is paper tissue inhalation, which is where you just put a couple drops in paper and smell it.
Mhm.
I like the heat of it is what I like with the
Yes.
essential.
Yeah.
So, and also they're saying a disposable face mask, but you really need to see a professional aromatherapist in order to be able to have that done correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 'cause
Now, another way is actually a honey paste. Now we're talking about getting rid of, like, again, the honey with a little bit of oils,
honey
putting
is
it on a
very
wound.
antiseptic.
Right. And that's what you're trying to do, is get rid of the infection that way. That's another way. Okay.
Okay. So yes, you can smear honey on your wounds. It is very
Just
protective.
make sure there's no bees around.
Yes, not the bees, just the honey, guys. Just the honey.
So
works.
we have a couple of blends over here for those that are still listening. Okay, so there are a couple of blends that
Mhm.
I will give you. They're actually antibacterial blends. Okay.
Mhm.
So I also have MRSA blends.
Which is good because that's a good hearty fight the infection kind of blend.
Yeah.
Very
So,
important.
as far as an antibacterial blend, number one is Raven Sarah 10 drops, eucalyptus 8, Nara oil 5, ginger 10, thyme 4, lemongrass 3. Blend number 2 is frankincense 5 drops, Howood 6 drops, eucalyptus 8 drops, lemon 5 drops, primrose 6 drops.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So there is a lot of good information out there to help you guys. I'm hoping that in this first half hour that you really did be able to catch up
Mhm.
on some of the oils that we can utilize. And again, you can always call me. I'd be happy to try to get something together. We do have to do a consultation.
Yes. Same
but
thing
I
with
have
herbology.
several
A consultation
books.
is needed, just like with the
Yep.
essential oils,
Yep.
because we do not want to affect already medications that you are taking.
No,
We are not
don't.
MDs. We do not recommend stopping medications and starting other types of things.
No.
It's a supplement to help you through it. Because
Right.
we can't write a prescription for,
No, we
these
can't.
things. But
So
we know that they
all
work.
right, so we're gonna get ready to go for a break. I'm gonna get more coffee, and when we come back, Michelle is going to be speaking on herbs.
A lot of good herbs, guys. A lot of good important
This
things.
is information you don't want to miss, guys. I know
Mhm.
everybody loves readings, but right now I really want to keep you guys healthy and
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
That's my main goal. That's what I
Yeah.
want to keep you.
And in the proper way,
All
because
right.
you don't want to have misconceptions about, like, you don't want to go treat a virus like you treat a cold. There's differences, guys. There's differences and ways to kind of get a jump on these things, and it's
Right.
overall health. So we'll talk more about that when we come
We'll be
back from
right
this
back.
break.
I need coffee.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this break.
I need carrots.
I gotta take some. Bother me. guys already leave? Oh. Man, I should have just stayed. I wanted to get a rematch on Uno. We were up last night till 2 in the morning playing Uno.
Oh yeah.
It's funny as hell. I won a few times though. I was like, yes! She won the majority of times, obviously. Because she's slick. And she has magic cards. Like she got magic cards. Like, she's good.
I really hope they really need this information.
Yeah. We got a lot of good things to talk about. I love it. It's an overall health. The show wasn't going to be about that kind of thing. It was going to be about other stuff. It just turned right into it.
I really want to help people. I'm gonna look up health corner in my feng shui book.
Health what?
Health corner.
Health corner. Oh, that's a good idea.
I can't put it in the wealth corner because when you walk through the front door, it's the left-hand corner, which is Joseph's room, and his head's there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Really good. Shit.
Hey, how the hell to everybody. I just want to
Hi,
play real
guys.
quick the sound that you will hear while the callers are coming on, but we are still here. This is what you will hear over on Blog Talk when
Mhm.
I'm trying to get the callers until we can get somebody else to help us. You will hear this. Okay, all that means is we are answering a caller in a private chat.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, because we have been getting some really, really disrespectful, stalker-ish type calls, and we do not want to subject you guys to that any more than we want to be subjected to it, honestly, because it just keeps getting more and more freaking disgusting. Disgusting, guys. Okay. So please ask us questions, guys. Please, if you have any concerns about anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the wealth corner for feng shui while
Okay.
she talks.
So first thing I want to do is while you guys have your pencils and papers out, I want to give you guys a recipe. It's called a rescue remedy. Now it's something that you can make using the oils and things that Sue was talking about. There's certain things you want to put it with you, and it's good to carry with you for all emergencies, such as shocks, accidents, arguments, trying events, you name it. And it gives you an overall medicine that helps with all kinds of stuff. So it's a good starting point. So hopefully you guys get your pens and papers out. And it's called Rescue Remedy. Okay. It's made from equal amounts of cherry plum, okay, rock rose, clematis, star Bethlehem herb, okay, and together they make a rescue remedy, which is used for all emergencies, even such as shock, an accident, argument. Back in the day, remember when people used to pass out when they got the vapors? You know what I mean? And there was that
I thought
smelling
that was
salt kind of
because they
thing.
were farting. Oh, I got the vapors.
That could have killed a few people on its own right there, right?
Yeah.
But it
All
was
right, so I'm
something
what I was
like
looking
that
for.
that you could use. And but here is another part of it. If you add this rescue remedy, you can add it actually to a, believe it or not, a bottle of brandy. Being like, because it's
Irish
100,
whiskey.
well, it's 100% proof, okay? But you can also make it a cream by adding it to any one of your favorite skin creams or some type of neutral base, like shea butter or some type of neutral thing. Even coconut oil is good for that, so you can actually use it that way. But you could even drink it directly and even put drops onto or under your tongue. It's literally one of those things that it's a good starting off bath. It's even used to help infants and babies in their evening baths. It's 4 drops put in about of the rescue remedy, okay? And it's called homemade rescue remedy. It's a good something little that you can make and have on hand, and it helps you guys with so many different things, more things you could even imagine. Truly, it's called rescue remedy. Okay. Now, one of the other common things, while Sue was talking about it, I want to add the other uses of sage, because sage seems to be one of the most common. The most common, okay? It's a cooking herb, it's an oil, it's some of the, actually, if you grow your own, some of the plants can even grow as far as 20 feet tall, actually, if you grow your own. But it's an astringent, okay? It's a stimulant, it's an antiseptic, like Sue explained. It's a carminative, which means it calms you, okay? It's an antispasmodic. So if you want, it has like muscle spasms, sage can also be used to calm that. It's a nervine. It's good for your nerves. And it's also in general used for female health, believe it or not, as a tonic. So the more sage you can add, the better. It's an antiseptic, okay? So believe it or not, sage can even be used as for depression. It can be used for nervous exhaustion. It can even be used for fatigue. Now, using them, okay, it also helps with the common cold. It helps, like, as we use it to bless, and we use all that, but it's an
Right.
antiseptic as well, okay?
Mhm.
But believe it or not, sage can even be used for anxiety and confusion, even in elderly people. It helps when you're having signs and symptoms that include like exhaustion or fatigue, those kind of weakened states. Sage tea itself is great to ingest. It's even great for mucus. Babies when they're little, sometimes they get, is it the whooping cough they get?
Yeah.
The one
Do you
with
know
a
what
lot
else
of
is good for that?
what?
Caffeine. Hot caffeine.
Yes,
and
hot
the
coffee.
warm coffee in
They
the
used to
bottle,
give
yeah.
the babies actually strong cups of coffee to help them get rid of the mucus.
Yeah.
It also, straight black strong coffee does help even when you get those tickles in your throat. It's actually good for that too, guys, believe it or not.
Yep.
So as much of it you can add to your diet as possible. Now, even used as a cold tincture, it's good for sweating, night sweats, and it's good for weak lungs, with anything that has like persistent or recurring like coughs and allergies, even the allergies, guys, sage. And people think, they look at sage and go, that must be something that people must be allergic to. But believe it or not, 99% of people are not actually allergic to sage.
No,
It's
they're
one
not.
of those herbs that the majority of people all can use. It's even great for women. Women never think of using this, but for female health, it's great for menopausal hot flashes, guys. Believe it or
You
not,
know what?
sage tea.
That actually makes sense. You know why? Because
Mhm.
I burn a lot of sage. I don't drink it,
Yeah.
but I've always burnt a lot of sage. I didn't have a hard time with
You use sage
menopause.
in cooking too.
Yeah.
So, which is another thing, like as much of it as you can get as possible, because it actually helps you with those hot flashes, those menopausal type of female worries. Believe it or not, menstrual cramps. Okay, sage is the bomb for getting rid of menstrual cramps. When an old-fashioned Portuguese remedy used to be a glass of wine warmed up on the stove with sage. Okay, and you would drink that, and you would literally soothe and calm menstrual cramps, and also painful breasts, like some women get painful breasts prior to periods or after babies are born and after breastfeeding is done.
Yeah.
The sage compresses actually help to actually calm the painful breasts too. And these are things people don't ever think of using sage for, right? but it does. And for those women that choose to not breastfeed their kids, cold sage tea sipped every few hours will literally actually dry up your breast milk. Stuff they
Wow.
don't tell you. It's stuff they don't tell you. But it's also good for as a gargle and a mouthwash for sore throats, laryngitis, tonsillitis. People that have like the mouth ulcers and the blisters, those inflamed in like tender gums when you have that what's that gum disease that people get? Gingivitis.
Right.
Abscesses. If you get an abscess in your mouth, tooth abscess, you should
Clove.
try that. Clove, but sage tea as well.
I always used clove.
Yeah. Which is absolute remedy too.
Yeah.
For dirty wounds as an antiseptic. If you don't happen to have the luxury of having antibiotic creams and things like that, sage is an awesome antiseptic for wounds.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
It really is.
Back in the early world war, like the world wars, the Scottish wars, the wars in England, the nurses would use sage as a wash to clean all the dirty wounds. Okay, because they didn't have antiseptic sprays or antibiotic ointments. They would use all natural. Okay, all natural. Believe it or not, even for bruises, people always wonder, oh, I got a big bruise. And people tell you, oh, there's nothing you can do for bruises. Well, sage, okay, mixed with cider vinegar, and you put the sage leaves and you just about cover the sage leaves just with vinegar. And if you wrap those like on the bruise with the cloth, it literally like makes the bruise like it never happened. And great for bee stings too, guys. Great for bee stings. So other uses for sage, because we do have sage is like one of our most common things that we have. Sage. It's the bomb. Okay. Sage. So one of those things that you don't think of using for a lot of the different uses that they are actually intended for. It's important, to do your research and use them for different things as well. Like, and we wouldn't tell you. Now, for lung issues and respiratory stuff that's going on right now, like the symptoms we were talking about, the flu symptoms and respiratory infections and things like that. So anything that involves like with some sort of difficulty in breathing, boogers, mucus, people that get the sinus infections with the gunk and all that stuff. Believe it or not, they say about the salt water and you suck up the salt water through your nostrils. There's a name for that type of thing. I can't remember what it's called right now. But if you actually add sage to that, it's another way to actually clear out your sinus passages, guys. These were things they used prior to allergy medications. Because like I said, 99% of people are not allergic to sage. They're not. Have you ever known of a person ever to be allergic to sage? Ever?
No.
Sage is one of those God-given things that all people can use, and that it's common to use for all kinds of different things. And you're not allergic. You're not allergic. Whereas you can be allergic to ragweed type family things, like we talked about the chamomile and things like that.
Right.
So that is important. Now, ginger, common ginger. Okay, we talk about putting ginger. That's another herb you want to incorporate as much as possible in your diet. Ginger. Okay. Ginger is awesome. It actually used to be used to treat asthma. Ginger is that powerful, guys.
Wow.
Prior again to the days of inhalers, right? And days before steroids, ginger. It's very important, guys, to have a very, very like healthy diet and to try to incorporate these things in your day to day. It's very, very important. Okay. Ginger treats asthma. Okay. I believe even I think Chinese herbology, they use ginger a lot for that stuff too. And it's important. Oh, and you know how like most illnesses have phlegm involved?
Yes.
Okay. Most, right? We have phlegm. Sinus infections, phlegm. Respiratory infections, phlegm. Sore throats, phlegm.
Man,
Right?
The dead terrorist has phlegm too.
You ever think of not like nibbling on some almonds?
No.
Almonds.
No.
Clears phlegm.
I would rather have pecans.
Well, but it won't clear up the phlegm. But almonds, believe it or not, if you are having anything that involves phlegm in any way, shape, or form, chew on some almonds instead of cough drops. Back in the day, you used to have cough drops.
Yeah.
Almonds Almonds
Son
literally
of a
dry up. You ever
gun.
have an almond that wasn't like treated, an all natural almond, and it almost has like that very dry, bittery?
No,
You never had
I
those
don't
like
like
that?
almonds.
Oh, well. Okay, that answers it.
The more you know.
But almonds, you will literally dry up anything phlegm induced. Now, why I say that, okay? Why? Because you're not supposed to be around coughs and the mucus that comes out. It could be, you touch your eyes or you touch your mouth, you can get it passes germs.
Oh yeah.
Right. So what do you want to do? You want to stop the passing of the germs to other people. Phlegm is one of the culprits. Okay. Not even saliva. It's not even your actual saliva that actually passes along the viruses.
Right.
It's the actual phlegm. So if you sneeze, if you cough, all that stuff, boogers. Okay. Phlegm. What's the guy, the terrorist guy?
Ahmed.
Yeah. Talks about the phlegm. Yeah.
Ahmed.
Phlegm. Okay, guys.
See. Phlegm.
Phlegm.
That's what he says.
Phlegm.
Oh,
That's great.
man.
Phlegm. But you think people don't even think about that. But it's all natural diet remedies that you can add, and it's healthy things to your diets. So if you have cardiac diets, if you have issues with like diabetic diets, any of these things that I'm telling you guys about are not going to affect those type of dietary things with your health.
Unless, here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
white sage.
White sage.
Only
That's
white
different.
sage if you are a type 2 diabetic and you have high
Blood pressure.
blood
Okay.
sugar.
Blood sugar. So not white sage, but the green actual herb.
So you can use white sage to lower your sugar. Yes.
So it's important, guys. And another thing I'm going to tell you guys a lot about all the time. You cannot use enough garlic. Garlic is an antiseptic. It's an antibacterial.
How many Italians do you know that diet? No, I'm sorry.
But that's why the Mediterranean diet is so good for you, because they incorporate garlic in
That's
everything.
right. Garlic,
I don't even make
garlic.
ramen noodles without putting garlic.
Yeah, I know when Michelle is cooking from like the bottom of the first floor, the moment I open the door. Yep, that's Michelle.
Yep. And what do I use in every single thing that I cook? I always use garlic. I always put parsley. Parsley is another one that's a good antibacterial and antiseptic and all that. People don't think of parsley, but parsley is an excellent thing to add to your diet. Okay.
Right.
Parsley. So garlic. And then
it's not just for pretty decoration.
No,
and
it's not just to keep vampires away.
I told my kids that it's just to put some color in what I'm cooking.
They don't have to know. Put garlic in as much as you possibly can. Fresh garlic, chopped garlic, dry, any garlic you can get your hands on, use as much as possible. People even used to make syrups out of garlic and use that for certain things, believe it or not. I know syrupy garlic kind of sounds like it would be kind of like a odd thing to do, but it does. It's also good to mix with honey if you have a cold. Garlic and honey, guys, put them together. Garlic and honey together is it like making your own like cough medicine. My grandmother I still have a recipe that she taught to us, and it's always involves garlic, honey. Also involves oh my goodness, pennyroyal, the herb pennyroyal, believe it or not. Pennyroyal is in a mixture, and you put
it pennyroyal.
Pennyroyal. It works.
Pennyroyal.
But it's so in a mixture put together, you make your own cough syrup. Lemon, because like you said, lemon is really good for antibacterial stuff too.
Right.
Squeeze a lemon to that. You put it, you can mix it in some we used to use moonshine to make it the alcohol part of it. Because as I was told growing up, being
it's
the
a hot
village, well, alcohol kills everything. Number one rule of the village witch, okay?
Oh my
alcohol, that was one of the first things I was ever taught in my life, is alcohol kills everything.
Wow.
So your favorite choice of alcohol with lemon, with honey, with garlic, and with pennyroyal, okay? And that is your pennyroyal. We call it hortelão in Portuguese.
Okay. Well, this is a penny.
Yeah. Not a penny, not this kind of penny, guys. No. The herb
Penroyal.
pennyroyal, yes.
Penroyal.
And so we use that, and you make your own cough syrup. My grandmother still grows it in her garden till this day.
Huh.
Still to this day. So if I ever need it, I
See,
will
you
go
know
and
what I
make my own
miss?
thing.
I always had lavender and sage that I would intertwine in a bundle,
Mhm.
but I
those are
don't.
so
I don't
good.
have my planters anymore.
Oh, but those are
It's driving me
so good. So good.
crazy.
So good.
Gonna get
Um,
one of those mini greenhouses.
That's what we need. Those like
Yeah.
little plastic tent things, even, which
Yeah.
is like the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Onions. Onions. Okay, but I'm not saying eating it.
No, onions don't like me either.
Well, onions don't like my gas problems either, but a fever, onions, chop of onion. It's not a joke when people say that whole thing about putting an onion in the bottom of your feet and it absorbing your fever. Yes, that is a old fashioned remedy, and an onion will absorb the fever. Many a kid grew up having onion feet because of that. Okay, and it does
I'm
not smell
sorry.
good.
I am sorry.
We used to have onions wrapped into the bottom of our feet,
Yep.
and we would have all that. Oh
onions.
yes, but even onions is the poultice
Ugh.
on your chest for chest congestions and things like that.
Oh,
Onions
wow.
work. Onion broth. Onion broth is
Oh.
great to cleanse and reduce your congestion. Because what are you trying to limit? Phlegm and boogers. Because
C
phlegm, you want to eliminate that, because that is what, when you cough, what comes out? That. When you blow your nose, out that.
Oh yeah.
It's airborne particles you don't realize. When you sneeze, that comes out. So what are you trying to get healthy in your body, believe it or not, is your phlegm. Okay. And you do want your phlegm clear, not yellow, not green, not gunky,
So
not thick.
if you
no,
blow
none of that.
somebody the raspberries, you want to make sure that it's healthy phlegm.
Yes. So you don't get them sick. Okay. It's the same thing as somebody blows a raspberry at you. You want to make sure that their phlegm is clear and healthy too,
Huh.
because it's the controlling of the phlegm. Respiratory infections. It gets, what do you get in your lungs? It's the phlegm. You
Mm.
get the phlegm. So one of the very first and most important things that the village witch does try to get under control is the phlegm. Gotta be mindful of the phlegm.
Huh.
Okay, that is how you do pass along germs and such like that. Okay,
Wow.
why do you think I freak out with Joe and the Booker papers everywhere, right?
I know.
Don't I? Like, that's my quirk. I freak out about booger papers everywhere because I'm terrified of the phlegm and the boogers. Okay, that is the bad thing. Okay, the phlegm and the boogers. It really is.
Well, see, I always have a bag with me. It's just the way that I've always been.
Yeah, but you keep
Yeah.
it contained.
Yes.
You keep your boogers and your phlegm
Because I have a
contained.
dog that eats everything.
Well, you
Or I
yeah,
had
yeah.
cats that used to tear it
And that
apart.
freaks me out too, because
Yeah.
that not only can we get sick from it, but the
Right.
animals get sick from
Right.
it too.
They can.
We can pass along
Yeah.
our viruses and colds to animals, guys.
Ah.
So phlegm and boogers, that's got to get that cleaned out. That's why they even have those little things that like looks like little tiny teapots where you flush out your sinus passages and
Neti
things
pot.
like that. Neti pot, thank you. Really important, because what are you doing? You're clearing out the boogers and the phlegm. Gotta get that under control.
Gross.
It is gross, guys. How do you think part of the reason of the way that the flu gets passed along? The coronavirus. What are they warning everybody about? Keep wearing those masks and such. Why? Because that's one of the ways that it's even passed along.
Exactly. Oh, Robert's back.
Robert's back. You got
He's
any
bouncing.
phlegm?
Robert, you bouncing shows?
Got any problems with some phlegm? Okay. Now, and another thing, like Sue was talking about, the eucalyptus.
Right.
Really important. So not only using the eucalyptus oil, but use it in boiling like steams. Use it in your showers. It's, believe it or not, eucalyptus, breathing it in and getting the eucalyptus oil, it's an actual expectorant,
Now,
okay, and decongestant.
when does eucalyptus bloom?
Springtime, usually.
Spring.
Yeah.
So that would be the best time to find fresh eucalyptus.
Fresh eucalyptus. Yeah.
Right.
The good thing about it is you can dry it.
Right.
And it holds. And eucalyptus plant, if you do grow your own, it grows and grows and grows and grows until it starts seeding in the fall. And that's where you get all the rest of the seeds for next year's bunch of eucalyptus.
Hmm.
Okay, because it's important to do that. And again, but dry it as much as you can. And yes, you can make your own eucalyptus oils at home. You can do that. And why is it good? Because it's an expectorant and a decongestant.
Wow.
So clears up all the junk and the phlegm and the boogers and all that kind of stuff.
I keep thinking of Jeff Dunham.
When I
Sorry.
say phlegm, right?
Every time you say phlegm, I'm thinking Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham's my go-to guy.
It's because it's like
Right.
serious about getting control of these things.
Exactly.
And so you don't want to get like a lot of people go through how is that Mucinex? They go through crazy Mucinex, right?
Right.
Mucinex. But what does Mucinex do? Think about it. What is the job of a Mucinex tablet?
To take care of the mucus.
Exactly. Dry
Dry it
up
up.
the phlegm and the mucus.
Yep.
Okay. The cough medicines that you get, they're either suppressants or expectorants.
Right.
Why? It doesn't say I'm going to control the cough itself. It's saying, no, I want you to cough and get rid of it.
Right.
Or I want it to not cough so much because you've been like bronchitis people. Once they start coughing, they can't stop.
Exactly.
And the more they cough, it just irritates and irritates and irritates.
Exactly.
Phlegm is the culprit, guys.
Man.
Yes. So important. Okay.
Man.
Now,
Right, I should stop.
it's okay.
I'm addicted.
Okay. Now we talk about chamomile though, right? But chamomile is not good if you're allergic to anything in the ragwort family,
I
But-
am allergic to hay fever.
which you could not have chamomile.
Jaffa.
You could not have chamomile being allergic to that. You can't. But
Jaffa.
another thing that chamomile is good for,
Dunham.
I know,
Sorry.
phlegm. Another thing that it's good for though, chamomile tea, it's also good for dry, irritating coughs and wheezing.
And I
So
can't
it helps
use it.
you, and you can't use it.
I can't use chamomile.
But why is chamomile also good for that? Because it's what happens. It gets worse at night. It
Yeah.
gets more irritable at night. So if you have chamomile tea, not only is it good to help you relax and calm down and get a good night's rest,
Right.
but it helps get control of the coughing and the irritating,
Right.
like that, and the wheezing. To think about things prior to, instead of using the chemicals, like we were talking about, the inhalers and all that kind of chemical stuff, try this first because this is just as powerful.
Oh yeah.
It will help you with the wheezing.
Yeah, it's definitely is.
And again, control of that whole thing. And at night, it does get worse. Okay. It does get worse. So useful facts. Okay. You get a cough, you want to get it in control within the first couple of days of having a cough episode, whether it's a cold, whether it's a flu, whether it's you could even have a cough from like sore throats. You get the phlegmies behind there. So you get a little bit of clearing that throat and getting it out like that.
Yeah.
So you want to get these remedies in you as soon as you possibly can.
Right.
Some people can actually tell prior to getting like a cold or something that they feel like there's something coming on. They
Yeah.
feel there's a cold coming on.
Right.
Start doing these things. Start adding more garlic to your diet. Start adding all these types of
You know what?
remedies.
That actually makes sense because when my kids were younger, like I said, I don't have time to be sick.
Mhm.
Every time I was sick, I wanted garlic bread.
Start right.
Literally, it was
your
like,
body was
okay,
already
I
requesting it.
feel something coming on. So it was like,
Mhm.
yep,
Yes.
garlic bread, extra garlic.
So incubation periods, right? How how they talk about incubation periods. They talk
Mhm.
about it again. I hate making the reference, but the coronavirus is an incubation period. That people are sick prior to them knowing that they're sick. So while the incubation period is going on, they're infecting other people with
Right.
what? What is happening during this incubation period? Phlegm, boogers, the coughs, all those kind of things are happening. So you even during any type of cold season or flu season,
mhm.
this is when you want to ramp up your use of these things. Get some garlic in you daily. Get these types of things in you. If you start feeling something's gone, start adding honey. Start adding all these different types of things to it. So you either shorten your incubation period, and sometimes you can literally wipe it out before it even becomes a full-blown respiratory type distress.
Oh, this particular stream is ATU Network. Today we're talking about oils and aromatherapy, just to let you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Things that can actually help you stay and maintain a healthy attitude because a
Mhm.
lot of the viruses that are out there are antibiotic resistant.
Exactly.
That's what today's episode is about.
But guess what? They may be antibiotic resistant, but they're not resistant to these remedies, guys. You can't get like resistant to garlic. You can't
No, there's no such thing as too
resistant to
much
garlic.
There's no such thing as
You
too much
can't
garlic.
become
I'm sorry.
resistant to
Not at
honey.
all.
You can't become resistant to lemon. You can't become resistant to chamomile. All these things you cannot become resistant to.
Exactly.
But you can become resistant to antibiotics and steroid medications and all these other type of other chemical things that the doctors are going to give you. So
Right.
it's for your own benefit. It truly is for your own benefit to start this stuff.
It really
No.
is. Now, if you missed the earlier part of the show, you can go back and listen to it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, pretty much everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. You can download it. You can listen to all the earlier information, and some of the random facts and things are at the beginning of the show. So we have about a half an hour left to the show.
Yes.
So Michelle is still talking herbs. And if
Yes.
you'd like to listen to some of the oils as well, you can go back to the beginning.
Yes. And a lot of these oils are things that we use in conjunction also with these herbal things that I'm telling you
Right.
about. So if garlic oil, use garlic oil. You but also use garlic. Eucalyptus oil, yes, please use it. And also use regular eucalyptus, plain the actual
Oh, yeah,
eucalyptus, if you can
definitely.
get your hands on it. I can't even stress that enough. Like
Yeah,
incorporate it.
Literally, especially if you're coming down with stuffiness and you need the eucalyptus, have the eucalyptus leaves hanging in the shower.
Mhm.
Okay. And then when you come to bed, do a little
Yes.
aromatherapy, you know?
Yes. And they last a long time in the shower. And they also work if you grow it dry. So if you happen to find eucalyptus somewhere and they're dry, it's okay. Get them. They
Yes.
do the same thing dried as they do fresh, as they do as an oil.
Right.
Eucalyptus is eucalyptus is eucalyptus.
Exactly.
And you cannot be, eucalyptus is something else you don't become allergic to.
No.
You don't.
No,
You know, it's
at
not
all.
one of the ragweed type families. It's not one of those allergy type families of things. Eucalyptus doesn't work that way. The chemical properties of it, you're not allergic to it. So
Not at
you
all.
and you cannot overdose on eucalyptus or garlic or honey or any of these things we're telling you about. It's just not possible. Okay, it's not possible. Now we'll talk about like flu type symptoms. We get those fevers, right?
You're gonna make me put onions on my feet again?
Well, onions is it, but something else that we never think about and the majority of us always have in our house, believe it or not,
Okay.
warm apple juice.
Oh, how
Warm
about
apple juice.
homemade warm applesauce?
That works too. Apples are one of the things dietary and nutrition wise that you want to add to your diet as much as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Apple. So that helps keep you healthy and keeps you, away from like inflammation type body aches, muscular pains, the fevers, all that stuff. Apple, guys. Apple. Okay. Now, ginseng powder is one of the things that people can actually have access to. Ginseng teas. Okay, they make ginseng vitamins that you could take. Add that to your diet. That's more of the Chinese type of herbal medicine, but ginseng added to your diet actually, like, you know how geodes amplify crystals?
Yes.
Ginseng amplifies these things.
Right.
So if you add in ginseng to your diet in some way, shape, or form, ginseng tea or ginseng tablets, or however way you add it, it will amplify these effects.
Now, is there a bad side to ginseng?
No, you cannot overdose ginseng.
Okay.
You cannot.
As long as it's just ginseng and not mixed in with all the chemicals
Exactly.
with all the steroids that everybody is
real
producing
actual
right now.
ginseng, like
Right.
ginseng. And they do make ginseng tablets, vitamin tablets.
Right.
Which is good. Some of them are even come in the capsules, which are great to get because you can open up a capsule
Right.
and sprinkle the ginseng on something.
Huh.
It doesn't really have a noticeable type taste, ginseng.
Wow.
But it's really, really good to add and it amplifies it. So again, like if you feel like you're kind of going through like an incubation type period,
Yeah.
add that to it. And again, I can't stress again, lemon and honey. It's not only good for your cough, it's great for inflammations and fever.
That's why I buy the Ricola honey lemon drops always.
Why do you think they make cough drops and that
Yeah,
kind of stuff?
no,
It's good for
it's the
fevers too.
Ricola.
Yes, because it's more
Yeah.
natural to the Ricola.
Yeah, I
It's
like
more
the
natural. That
Ricola.
kind of is definitely.
Yeah.
Gargle with lemon juice. If you have stuff like, people get like the blisters in the back of their throats,
Yeah.
or they get those like
warm water and salt.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that add lemon to that though. Add lemon to that because that literally helps clean and antibacterial, antiseptic, all that stuff. Gargle with it. And most people like lemon. Most people do like lemon. So it's not something that's kind of like, oh, I don't want to gargle with lemon. I want to taste lemon. But lemon is really, really good. Okay.
Right.
So add that, guys, to it. Okay. Tea tree oil. You talked about the tea tree oil earlier.
Yes.
Tea
Yes,
tree
I
oil
did.
is another good to gargle with for infection if you have like mouth related or sore throat type related things. Because a lot of people when they get colds, you kind of get a sore throat sometimes with it. Any type of lemon, as long as it's real natural lemon, you know what I mean? Lemon. Okay. Lemon is natural anyway. They don't make fake lemon, but lemon. Okay. So you can definitely use
Actually,
that.
they do make fake lemon, but that's okay.
So again, now they talk about peppermint and eucalyptus together. Don't use the peppermint again if you have high blood pressure issues. Don't.
Yeah. Now, when
Okay,
you're talking about
don't.
lemon, are you talking about the lemon bush or the actual lemon?
You can the actual lemon, the
Right.
fruit, the actual fruit.
Okay.
But the lemon the actual lemon plant, like the leaves and all that, that can be used in a tea.
Huh.
That can be. Don't let it eat. If you have access to that, don't let it go to waste because those dry lemon leaves from the plants are actually really, really good for you too. They have
Right.
a lot of minerals and things in it that really do help bring down infection, help bring down fevers and things like that. So you definitely want to use it. Now, the oils that you talked about actually help lower your fevers. That is the bergamot that you were talking about.
Bergamot root.
The
Yep.
Melissa you were talking about, really good to help bring down fevers. Okay. And you can use that in ways, in any way, shape, or form you can take it, but even as a compress, the back of the neck or compress on the forehead.
Yeah, it really is, especially high blood pressure. I don't
High
recommend
blood pressure,
peppermint
no
at
peppermint.
all.
No peppermint.
So there's a lot of things that individuals can't use depending on your medical condition. That's why you always want to seek the advice of an expert.
Okay. So we have your oil emergency kit. Have your herbal emergency kit. So during types of seasons like this, cold seasons and such, you are prepared and you can, if you may even think you're in an incubation period, start these things right away.
Exactly.
Cannot hurt. Add them to your foods on a regular basis. I do. I don't even make ramen noodles without these things. And yes, I put parsley in my ramen. And yes, I put garlic in my ramen. And I will, and I am known to, I'll take some lemon and go in my ramen. I do. All those things are really, really good for you. Okay.
Right.
Other things that you can add cinnamon to, believe it or not, is another good thing. Cinnamon, and you were talking about cinnamon leaves, the actual leaves of the cinnamon plant. Hard to get, but you can get them. So incorporate that. Add that to your diets, guys. Ginger is another one too. I can't even stress that one enough. Okay. And again, onions, you don't have to eat them, but use them to soothe inflamed membranes. And they talk about sweating like a fever out. Onions, believe it or not, under your armpits. Yeah. Some people's bodies actually respond good to that. Other people, they say, starve a cold or feed a fever or something like that, right? Or which one is that? I know. She's like, onions in my armpits. But it does help get rid of the fevers, guys, and those body aches and all those types of inflammations.
Well, it's a
It
good thing
fights
I'm not
infections.
Portuguese. I would have argued with the village witch. Get that thing out.
I tell you, and you know what? We had so many kids around. We were little that if one of us even so much as had a cough or a sniffle, we'd all have to go through it. We all did, because our parents knew that we'd all pass it along to this one, to that one, to that one, to that one, and we did.
Wow.
We did. So it was like very important. So if one of us started, we all got it. We all had to do the onions. We all had to do the teas. We all had to do all those type of herbal remedies. As much as we could hated it, we did it, and we had no choice but to do it. But we didn't have to worry about. I grew up not running to the doctors for antibiotics or things like that. because we did use the herbal remedies.
Right.
We did use all these different things. And we had the herbs that are accessible right there. And if it wasn't fresh, we had them already dried. So
Huh.
we had access to those things.
Huh.
You know, and the homemade cough drops, the homemade cough syrups, the medications for the flus that we would have. Yes, they were giving us 100 proof vodka mixed with honey and lemon and all these different things. I mean, we weren't swigging bottles of it, obviously. Like you would take cough syrup, for instance. We would
Huh.
get our homemade cough syrup, and we didn't pass it around to everybody. We didn't go to school and make an entire classroom sick of things like that.
Wow.
We didn't, because our families knew right away to get us started with these things. And it was, don't cough, cover your mouth, wash your hands. We would have our hands literally dunked in like
Hey, Rachel.
peppermint tea. Like they
Right.
would have like the leftover peppermint tea, the cold. We never got rid of that. They wouldn't just get rid of it.
Right. But peppermint is good for adults.
But for kids at the time, we would, because they would literally take our hands, because our germy hands, right, and put it right in the peppermint tea and wash with the peppermint tea. And we used to stink like onions.
Man,
and peppermint
I
and
would
everything.
probably
Oh,
be there thinking, man, these people are nuts.
but it worked, guys. It
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
Garlic cloves. The garlic, we'd peel the garlic. They would
Right.
take it if you had like a chest congestion or like a chest infection kind of thing or anything. Our families, we would take the garlic and they would rub it all over us. We would stink the whole high water when we got sick. That's why we hated to get sick.
Then she'd walk up to somebody and go, hi there.
Hi.
And you could just see the flames of the garlic.
But it would fight the infection and it would encourage healing to start. Because then not only were
Right.
we getting it externally, we would also be getting these things fed to us internally.
Exactly.
We really do use a lot of garlic in our diets. We do believe that helps stop colds in its tracks. It helps soothe all kinds of different things. A lot of our elders at the
Is
time.
Desi still here? Or is Joe listening
No,
to something
that's Desi's
different?
music.
Yeah.
If
That-
Joe's
that's-
listening to this music, I'd be worried. 'Cause where is that kind of stuff happening, right?
I don't know.
But it's so important, guys, to do these types of things. You don't have to run to the doctors. If we become to a point like they're saying, the portals, we talk about the portals,
Right. And
okay?
that's the main purpose of going over the oils and like the aromatherapy and the herbology
Mhm.
is because they're saying, as far as the portals, that you
Mhm.
need to prepare, is what they're
You
saying.
need to go back
So,
to holistic.
Right. And that's what they were saying. And so is
Mhm.
there a reason for this? I mean, look at what's happening right now
Mhm.
with the spread of a certain virus. So if
That's
we
right.
are prepared, we're better prepared for a lot
Mhm.
of things that could come.
Because it's not, believe it or not,
Yeah.
it's, you can do the tests that say, okay, yes, it shows you have a coronavirus, but where does that actually come from? What's going to be transmittable to everybody? It's the
Mhm.
control of these symptoms. You want to control these symptoms so you don't become a fatality when it comes to those types of things.
Exactly, yeah.
And if when the portal happens and we return back to holistic medicine, things like the coronavirus is still going to be around. Things like SARS, MRSA, all those types of things are
Oh, yeah.
still going to be around. How are we going to fight these things? Our only line of defense that we're going to have at this point is going to be holistic remedies and medicines.
Oh, we're
That's
not saying
all.
don't vaccinate. Definitely vaccinate.
Definitely vaccinate.
Vaccinate
Before we
against
don't have
everything.
access to
Right.
vaccinations. So, please
So
do.
definitely vaccinate for everything that you can vaccinate for. We're
Mhm.
just saying that rather than running for an antibiotic all the time, then you're gonna become more and more resistant
Yes.
to the actual antibiotics when
Yes.
you do require them.
Yes. And I
Right.
trust in what we're saying to you. These are things that you cannot overdose on.
No.
If we specifically tell you it's an allergy type thing, we tell you. But if we're not telling you it's an allergy, then you don't get people. Most people are not allergic to it.
Right. But
So
when
go
it
for it.
does come to certain oils and herbs, you really need to check in with an aromatherapist
Mhm.
and a also an herbologist, because there are certain conditions that can affect you.
Mhm.
As far as like oils and herbs can affect certain conditions
Yes.
and actually progress your condition
Yes.
worse. So definitely check in to make sure that you're taking the right thing, or
Mhm.
have them literally build something for you that you'd be better off.
Yeah,
in the long run.
an actual special blend
Yeah.
for you and such. It's
Mhm.
very important. So start stocking up on these things. Start getting them in your house. Build like your an emergency kit of your oils and your herbs and of these different things. And yes, certain vitamins, like echinacea too, which is another one. Which did you know echinacea is like a really pretty like purple flower? It's a really really pretty purple flower.
Oh, I gotta stretch my feet.
We
I am
used to.
sweating.
It's hot in you. We used to be given the actual echinacea flower, okay, and we used to watch our family literally take the petals and chew on the petals, and we would be like, "Whoa, what the hell are they chewing on that?" Right? And we didn't get an explanation for it,
Right.
but when we grew up later on, we were taught that actually had a name. Now I only knew it as a Portuguese name. So then when I found out that was actually echinacea, I was
Yeah.
like, that's echinacea? Because like we had been using it our whole lives and growing it in our gardens. I had it growing in my own gardens before I even knew that that was actually what echinacea, what they called echinacea.
Huh.
Had no idea.
I still don't know what it is.
It looks like a daisy, but purple. The petals are purple,
Oh,
but it's a
so
daisy.
why did they eat it?
It's echinacea. Helps fight infections. Helps encourage like an immune response.
Huh.
Acts like a natural antibiotic.
Huh.
Yes, yes. And we grew it. We grew it. My
Wow.
grandfather would make us bouquets of it, and he would grab, and we would be like, "Oh, you know,
I guess this is our snack today.
okay." Like they would eat weird things, and we just like we didn't know when we were growing up as kids why. We learned later on, and I was the natural full blown adult before I even knew that that was actually echinacea. I only knew it as a Portuguese remedy. I
Huh.
didn't know that that was the actual thing that they talk about. Getting echinacea when you start feeling cold, you echinacea tablets and echinacea this and echinacea that. Like I was like,
I don't know. I survived drinking out of a hose in the backyard.
we did.
Yep.
Well, we didn't get bacterial type things like that
No,
because we were already having these things added to our diets.
exactly.
We had these dietary and nutrition stuff before even people even knew what they were good for. We were already doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing it.
It
So
was
it's
natural.
all natural, and it worked every time. Look at us. We all survived. We lived.
We
We didn't have flu.
lived.
I didn't get flu shots when I was a kid. I didn't need it. We didn't need it because we had already all these all natural things
Right.
added to us. Okay, added already natural to us. Little did we know. Little did we know. So you guys might even be growing echinacea in your backyards and not even realize that you're this pretty flower, which I can't for the life of me remember what the flower name is right now. I know what it is, and I can't
It's
think what
not
it
called
is.
la 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 la.
It's not la la la, but it's an actual flower, and we grow it, and it's actual echinacea. And I'm gonna find the picture of it. I'm gonna put it on the site afterwards because you're gonna look at it and go like, wait a minute.
Is that pansies or is that what
It's
it is?
not a
Purple
pansy. It's not a pansy. It's part of the daisy family. It's that kind of line. It seeds like a daisy, and echinacea grows back every year on its own. So you don't have to keep replanting, reseeding it.
Huh.
Once you plant echinacea in an area, it'll keep like repopulating itself and growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, there's an.
Oh, what's the name of it?
I don't know. I'm having a brain fart.
I'm having a
too.
brain fart with it right
All
now.
right, guys, we're running out of time.
Any questions, guys?
Nope.
Any questions? Are we like giving you guys like we throwing too much information, guys, at you? It's just we want you guys to be coneflower. Thank you.
Coneflower.
Coneflower. Yes, it's purple petals. Okay. And that
Ah.
and it grows as part like when you have wildflower mixes,
Yeah,
the seeds.
yeah.
Coneflowers are part of those wildflower mixtures.
So is that the like? It's got 4 leaves on it. Four.
No,
like,
no, it's got little petals like a daisy does. Petals. You can how when we were kids, he loves me. He loves me now. He loves
Oh my
me.
God, that
he
seems
loves me
like
now.
centuries ago.
Right? Those were the petals we were plucking, guys. Those are the ones. See it right in the daisy family. Thank you, Robert.
Huh.
Okay, and they are coneflowers, and they're in any type of wildflower mixture of seeds. Guarantee that that's included. And you
Wow.
don't have to reseed it and you don't have to replant it. It grow. That is one of the.
And
the
what if your
wildflowers.
relatives come over in this mixed seed bunch and they eat it all on you?
Good thing is it'll grow back again next year.
Okay, fine. Just wondering.
No, some of the like wildflower seeds you do have to kind of replant it every year, but that one specifically you do not.
Hmm.
It's an actual. It's a annual. It comes. I mean, a
The
perennial.
annuals. That's
Yes.
the name I was looking for.
Yes,
Thank you.
It comes back
I
on
had a
its
brain
own.
fart.
But it comes back on its own, guys, like magic every year.
Right.
It looks like it dries up and goes poof, but it doesn't. It will grow back next year and will repopulate itself and will spread it. And it's one of those things you do want to harvest. You want to dry them. What? I'm seeing with that one paw. Oh, that's my Buddhist paw.
Yeah, it is.
Booty, you can come in now.
Oh my God. You guys should have just seen this. It was hilarious.
Look at it. Look,
All
look,
of a sudden we see Pop
one paw comes through
just
the door.
through the side of the door.
One thing. So wildflower mixes are great. You will get echinacea in there. It's purple petals. It's the coneflower. Thank you, Robert, so much. And all of the plant is actually good to be used for that. It's the
Oh my
entire plant,
God.
not just the petals that are good, but the entire plant. So if you do have that, harvest it, dry it, keep it. The door's actually open, ding dong. You can come on in. Okay, thank you. Okay. As he's coming in with the paw's
Yeah.
coming through the crack of it. Okay.
Dude, we're not starting World War III.
Nope.
Get
All
down.
right. Okay. All right. See him
Man.
for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
So hi,
stay here.
Booty.
All right.
Okay. So do that. Those are one of the things. If you have access to it, it's really good to harvest yourself and keep it handy.
Nope.
Okay.
Separate.
Yep. Keep that handy. It's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's actually echinacea.
Come on.
The
Oh.
stuff that sometimes sometimes you can pay a pretty good price to get all natural echinacea in like a medicine, like in a vitamin.
Yeah, but it,
You know-
it isn't. It's just the way that you normally dry up and get oils. I mean, literally, you got to go through a lot of plants to get oils. That's
To
why
get the
oils.
oils.
That's why the pure medical or therapeutic grades
Mhm.
oils is so much money.
yes, but if
because
you
you
want
gotta
it
go through a
natural,
lot.
you will. So it's worth.
I mean, think of it. When you
harvesting.
were a kid, and you pick a plant out of the ground, and you're like getting the juice out of it.
Yeah.
Am I the only strange one that did that?
No.
That's getting the
No.
natural oils. out of the
Honeysuckle.
plant.
Remember honeysuckle when we
Yeah.
were kids? We were encouraged to actually suck on the honeysuckle plants
Yeah.
because the honeysuckle had an all natural like antibacterial properties too, and
Right.
would help you from getting hay fever, believe it or not.
Ah,
But only if you sucked on it.
Huh.
If you actually touched,
what is he looking for?
I don't know, if you touched the actual honeysuckle, you could have an allergic reaction if you were allergic to that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Oh, Brenda said she was on the wrong one with the wrong
Oh.
feed, honey. Was it
Get
the
out of
wrong
there,
feed?
Buddha.
Booty, come here,
I
buddy.
don't like when you smell my clothes.
She's checking it out, see how how it smells. So
yeah, literally, I used to do that all the time.
it's actually really good for you to suck
And
on
the-
the actual
The
honeysuckle.
buttercups, I did that too with them.
Yes, because
The
those are
buttercups.
actual herbs, and those are actual.
Yeah.
Those flowers things are very, very good.
Yep.
Those are really, really good for you. That's healthy. That's pharmaceutical companies make these vitamins that are so expensive out of it when all you need to do is grow one in your
Yeah,
backyard.
except as long as you grow it in your backyard, because now you can't pick it up and eat it because of the pesticides. And
Actually,
stuff
if it
that's sprayed.
kind of grows natural, I still
Yeah.
do. Actually, I still
So
do.
you suck on pesticides.
Well, most people around you
So
don't actually go out of their way.
That's
to
what
put pesticide.
happened.
That
Okay.
might,
All
I
right.
don't know.
Now we
I
know.
might have gone to pesticide and
Did
then
you
not
get
come to think of it.
away from my
Booty,
crystals?
over here, bud. Okay, over here.
No, your
over
mom.
Wrong, mama.
Oh my God,
Wrong
what is
mummy.
wrong with you guys lately?
They're having like maternity issues here, paternity,
Okay.
paternity issues.
I
Okay.
can't talk because I haven't talked my first. What did you say?
Oh, they got lost somehow on the feeds with each other.
Wow, what happened?
What the heck?
I don't know. It's really weird.
No, over here, buddy. Okay. So we learned a lot, guys, today, and I want you guys to ask questions, and we are available for that. And these are just a lot of all natural things that are important to add to your combating of antibacterial type stuff.
Exactly.
You know, you don't need an antibiotic right away, guys. Try these remedies first. If we don't already tell you you're not allergic to it, you're not allergic to it. You can't overdose on garlic. It's
I
not
love
happening.
garlic.
Yeah, and add it to anything.
It's
and
probably why I
everything.
don't date.
It's okay. It works. Yeah, it's an anti-men keeper away too, right?
So is you and you eat onions.
Mushroom pick. Yes, but
What?
be careful about the mushroom picking.
Yes.
Because you could pick the wrong type of mushrooms.
Oh yeah, you don't
Get
want to
very
accidentally
sick.
get magic mushrooms.
You'll get very sick.
They're
very,
not so
very sick.
magical.
Oh, by the way, cinnamon, you know how we guys have those vaporizers, right? And they tell you put eucalyptus or put this or put that, right? Yeah, definitely do that. But you know, if you happen to run out, cinnamon in a vaporizer.
Huh.
It literally,
They don't even make a vaporizer anymore. It's all humidifiers.
right, but you can add cinnamon to the water on that. And it literally helps clear out and prevents colds and flu. So if you don't
Wow.
have to act like if you run out, because you know when your kids are little, I used to go through tons of eucalyptus oils and things like that. And so if you run out, you're like, oh, okay, I can't go to the pharmacy in the middle of the night, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But the kid's congested and gurgly and phlegmy and boogery. Cinnamon in a pinch will work,
I always had homemade applesauce to heat up just in case.
which is another good thing.
Right.
Homemade
because
applesauce, warm it up.
I use spices and
Yeah.
herbs in there.
Warm apple as the last
Because
minute
it
thing.
has
Warm apple
cinnamon
juice.
in it. It's got cinnamon, nutmeg, all fresh herbs, cinnamon, nutmeg, and lemon.
Yes, see,
in the
all good
applesauce,
things that
literally.
you do need to help
Yep.
combat these type of seasonal things. Okay, and again, we want you guys to learn how to do these things because, like God only knows, guys, right? The portal,
Right.
right?
So just in case, what
Holistic.
we wanted to do is we wanted to give you congratulations. You received 1,000 messages today with Restream
All
chat.
right.
Okay, that was on tweet. I have no idea, just randomly showed up on my feed. So, and we wanted to give you guys something else rather
Mhm.
than something that you guys can utilize on a daily basis in
Mhm.
order to help you out is what we were doing.
Yeah. So shorten up
Right.
those incubation periods.
Right.
Use this on a regular basis. It will keep you from getting sick. It will keep the phlegm under control, the boogers, the congestion. Yes. Because that's
Sorry.
the majority of how these things get spread.
Exactly.
You want to get control of the phlegm. Okay. Phlegm, no good. No good. Phlegm,
Right.
phlegm, no good. Okay. So, but again, use these types of things on a regular basis. That is 100%.
Oh,
Incorporate
definitely.
the herbs with the oils, with the types of vitamins. If you only have access to echinacea as an herbal supplement or
Yeah.
a vitamin, use it.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. So if you don't have to go and grow a whole field of echinacea.
Literally,
You know?
guys, here's another thing. If you don't make homemade applesauce, buy it in a jar.
Yes.
Okay. Take
Yes.
some cinnamon, nutmeg, and a couple of drops of lemon, heat it up. It's really going to help clear up the congestion.
Oh, excuse you.
Literally.
It's-
really easy. You don't even
Yes.
have to make your own. I just make my own.
You make it. Well,
applesauce.
she makes your own.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a pinch, if you have it, even apple juice.
Yep.
Warm the apple juice and add the cinnamon, add the nutmeg, add those things.
Yeah.
Drink that. That will help you so much with infections and with fevers.
Right.
Believe it or not, apples really, really important.
Right.
to
Mullein too. That's
Yes.
Apple cider.
And what
I
is it
make-
that you put else in the mullein besides?
No, mullein is a special blend I make.
Hey,
so
stop
I
it.
don't share the recipe with that one. There's a lot of herbs involved in a cheesecloth and boiling.
Oh yes,
and
that's right. That's right.
purifying, and it's a long process.
Yeah,
so-
Jose Jalapeno on a steak. You
On a
never see him
steak.
having with phlegm, right? There's no
Yes.
phlegm involved
Jose
there,
jalapeno.
right?
on a
There's no
steak.
boogers. There's no
Yeah,
phlegm
He says on a steak.
on the steak. That's right, on the steak.
He shut my steak in
Hey,
the door.
None of those puppets
Sorry.
are passing phlegm around. None of them. None. Right?
I'm sorry. I just thought of a joke
You
with
th-
Peanut. I
Hey.
was back with Peanut and
Stop it.
Jose jalapeno there for a minute.
Apple teeny, apple toddy. Yes.
Yes. A toddy.
Yes. The alcohol kills everything. That is the one thing that, ingrained in your head forever.
Oh, yeah.
Alcohol cleanses wounds.
Yep.
Alcohol helps clear infections. Alcohol helps kill colds.
That's right. And
Alcohol.
oh my God, we got 1 minute and 32 seconds left.
Already?
Yep.
Already?
90 seconds.
90 seconds, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night for Tara Tuesday. And hopefully the dogs will behave during that. So, and don't forget, I will be screening every call
That's
I
right.
answer.
So promise us,
Okay.
guys, keep your phlegm in check.
So,
Keep your phlegm under control, guys. That's how things get passed around. Sorry.
that's okay. I'm used to it.
Phlegm.
6 o'clock. So definitely 6 o'clock is when we start.
60
And
seconds.
I want to thank you so much
Thank you
for
guys.
tuning in, and we will see you here tomorrow.
That's
Peace
right.
out.
Bye, guys.
Love
Sarah
ya.
Tuesday. Bye.
Peace out.
Thank you
What
for
are you
using
barking at?
Blog Talk Radio.
Goodbye.
What are you talking about over here?